Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries. We are in Book 6, and this is Chapter 61, A Picture's Worth. And we will get into the game in just a couple of moments. First up, actually I don't have a whole lot of announcements now that I think about it, because we put a lot of our advertisements for different shows and different things in the pre-stream and during the break. I will draw your attention to up above M's head. You see that the party has available to them 15 domain tomes. Domain tomes are a way that you, the viewers, can have an influence on the game simply by subscribing, gift subs, cheering, 500 bits, tipping $5, all those things. It's in the chat. They provide these domain tomes that can be used either to gain advantage, to reroll, or to force me to reroll. Now, if you look up above the domain tomes, you will see that there is absolutely nothing there. And that is because I do not currently have any limited edition Dungeon Master domain tomes. If I did, they might look something like this. Now, I am only ever allowed to have a maximum of 5 limited edition tomes. They are a little bit more. They are a $20 donation, but they allow me to spend 1 to gain advantage for myself, 3 to reroll, or for 5 limited edition domain tomes, I can counterspell a reroll request from the players. They will not lose their 5 tomes. I will lose my 5, but their roll will stand. Only you can give me limited edition tomes.
Nobody wants that, Jake.
Somebody does.
They want to help us.
Somebody send out the bat signal to D20.
D20 is the worst. Forget that guy.
I know what else. I'm going to mention it even though we're not playing tomorrow night, but we're playing next week, Tuesday. A few weeks ago, we started a brand new campaign here on MTD on Tuesday nights. Descent into Avernus, Road Warriors of Hell. The incredible Dungeon Master Vi is leading us deeper and deeper into the pits of hell in this limited campaign. It is an absolute blast. It's a whole different group of players over there, and we absolutely love it. So be sure to tune in next week for that. The VODs are up on youtube.com/mini-terrain-domain. And Wednesday night is part 2 of The Darkness Outside of Broken Branch, a special Mythos Investigators, our Call of Cthulhu series, game mastered or what do you call it? Lore keepered by? Keepered. That sounds weird. The game runner, the showrunner, the writer, the master of our horror is the one and only Cari, in an original adventure that she's created using the Pulp Cthulhu and what's the system called?
It's Down Darker Trails.
Down Darker Trails, the Western.
I borrowed slightly from Down Darker Trails.
So it's a little mishmash, but it's a wonderful story that we've just embarked on. And Gary is joining us for that as well. Rumor has it that we're already in talks for the new season in the new year of Mythos Tales for an all-new tale with an all-new keeper. Stay tuned for more information on that. And then we are expecting the Dawnbringers to be returning this Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well. Before we get into our game, I, of course, just want to take a moment to remind you that you matter. We say it before all of our games because it's important. We want you to know that. Whatever you might be struggling with, first off, it is okay to not be okay. We all struggle to varying degrees and at various times, but you do not need to do so alone. At any time, you can come into our chat and you can type !help, as I have just done, and you will see that there is a couple URLs that pop up. Findahelpline.com as well as takethis.org's resources. I encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourselves, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. And now it is time for us to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So, the book club here recently headed off into the Temple of the Restful Lily. They found their missing friend, Little One, who had magically been transformed from a ogre wearing a headband of intellect into a Goliath, going by the name Vaughn Reed. In the process of everything going on here, they learned of an assassination of a missing person. They learned about the three sisters who run the place, who asked them to investigate a something that was haunting or plaguing the former shrine of Sune. When they descended into the shrine, you all discovered that there were stone cursed statues, a water weird, and a Medusa, which of course led to Mizya being briefly petrified, turned into a stone statue for 24 hours. However, the Medusa was able to lock eyes with the turtle paladin Togo, who began to turn to stone, hurled one last javelin, and froze in that heroic position, where he is now enshrined in the bottom of this temple still. While you waited a full day and then some, making plans and figuring out what you were going to do next, a halfling showed up and introduced herself as Marta, and said, "Hey, I might be able to help you, but I need your help first." You all headed outside, where you saw that night had descended upon the Temple of the Restful Lily, and there were no lights anywhere. You did see one light shining through a window at the top of the tower, some 50 feet up, and after much loud discussion about what to do and quite a fair amount of confusion about who was where, you all basically, most of you started flying to different degrees, where gargoyles peeled away from the tower and began attacking all of you. Flight was dispelled. Teera, Vorn, and Mizya fell some 35 feet to the ground below. But Marta used a Steps of the Night to basically just walk up through the air and heroically took out a couple of these gargoyles. However, during this fight, in addition to the flight being dispelled, you realize from somewhere some spells are being cast, as Mizya is suddenly transformed magically into a weasel, where they are now running around on the ground. In the current situation, I believe we have Doc is on top of the shrine. I don't remember if you were airborne. I don't think you had gone airborne. Marta, you are about 40 feet in the air, having just defeated the last of the gargoyles. As well as Vorn and Teera did a fair amount with the gargoyles on the ground. And Mizya is currently in ferret form, sort of running around at your feet. For the moment, it appears as though the threat has ended. You are out of combat initiative currently. What would you all like to do?
I mean, get out of sight of that window, obviously.
Teera would jam herself right up against the side of the tower, like right up against, and then like kind of be looking up.
What are you doing, Doc, to get out of sight? You're up on the roof of the temple.
Why am I on? We were all at the base of the tower.
No, you weren't. You all took flight from the roof of the temple. Nobody ever climbed down from the temple. You can be on the ground now if you want to be.
Yeah, I mean that's. I didn't know we were on the temple. I thought we were all heading toward the thing. That's where we saw the window. Anyways,
We will mark last session as the most confusing theater of the mind,
I
because
thought we were
apparently
on the ground too.
nobody knew where you were. I know for a fact that I narrated several times that you left from about 15 or 20 feet up off the ground, off the temple.
yeah, I mean it doesn't matter.
But it's moot. It's moot. You're out of combat if you want to be on the ground.
I'm on the ground now, and I'm still levitating, but I'm still on the ground. Doc will be sort of around the base of the temple, the tower as well, and he's going to say, "Well, that was unfortunate."
Vaughn, where's Mizya at?
At your feet, Mizya is... If it weren't for dark vision, you would have difficulty seeing them. And Teera, you're probably... Oh, wait, no. Teera, you have dark vision. Marta, you gave everybody dark vision, didn't you?
Correct.
Yeah, for 300 feet.
So you can see in these sort of shades of black and white. Mizya is this little weasel just sort of hanging out at your feet.
And Vorn's going to look down at Mizya and ask, "Hey, are you okay? Not so bad being up now that we're back down, right?"
You get no answer. Mizya is sort of almost the way ferrets move like liquid sometimes, just sort of slithers around your feet and kind of rolls over and then turns and starts digging at the ground and digs up a grub and just...
Just a shudder through Vorn's spine. He's just like, oh. Because it's not just like I vision Mizya to be probably about a little bit bigger than my 9-year-old daughter. And just that size and mass rolling around and then...
Oh no, Mizya is a full-on regular-sized
tiny,
ferret.
tiny weasel.
Or weasel.
She 4 foot or 5 foot?
No. Mizya is
They
a
are
weasel.
a weasel. A
Mizya-
tiny
Weasel.
weasel, an actual
Oh,
real-sized
no.
weasel.
What'd you think?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
thought it was
Mizya-sized weasel.
I thought it was a Mizya-sized weasel rolling
No.
around.
Mizya got polymorphed into an actual weasel.
Oh, goodness gracious. Vorn's even tripping more now.
He's picturing Mizya
So-
eating the
He
grub.
thought his mind is...
I kind of like that idea that Mizya was just running around, laying at your feet and digging up a grub. So while Vorn is having a crisis of conscience about that, Marta, you're up in the air.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Marta's going to recast her steps of the night and is going to walk very similar to Teera. I imagine like both up against the wall of the tower.
So did you walk down or did you stay airborne, stay up at that height?
No, I do think that she would have walked down a little bit because I believe she was probably near the top.
Yeah, you were 40 feet up.
Yeah, so she would have kind of moved diagonally away from the window down and then kind of right next to it. I think she wants to be.
And Teera is whispering, "Vaughn! Hey! Psst!" And she would just be like, "Hide yourself!"
Vorn's like looking around and he still has Mizya. And then he's like, points at Mizya, like, "What about Mizya?"
Grab him! Just grab him!
You ever see that movie like Rocky who's trying to chase a chicken?
Vorn, make a
handle.
I'll let you use animal handling if you have it. Otherwise, it's going to be a dexterity check to try to
Oh
grab
man.
Dexterity's way
Mizya the
better.
weasel.
I prefer Dex. Well,
Do it.
actually, I don't know. They're both +1. All right, here we go. Yeah, 5 does not grab weasel. Probably.
Actually, it does.
Ooh.
What?
I
Mizya's
rolled.
willing.
I rolled a 5.
Oh.
So I'm gonna say that you reach down and pick up this weasel, and probably the only reason you were able to is because they've dug up another grub and are just holding it in their little weasel paws and just. So you now have a weasel.
Awesome.
You all are essentially moved up against the tower now. And
Hold on.
Are we on the ground? Are we
agreed.
now
are
on the ground?
I don't know, are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh,
Yes.
So yes,
Okay.
sorry, your group was absolutely on the ground. Doc
Yes.
has levitation cast, but isn't actually levitating.
Okay.
And Marta, did you come all the way down or part way down?
No, she wants to position herself right by that window.
Okay.
Okay, so you basically moved in. Everybody else is down on the ground. You're about 40, little less than 40 feet up below this stained glass window. Okay. You, as you're all, as you are all getting into your positions, the cloud cover shifts and the partial moon, it's a sliver of a moon, but it's up above the tree line, and you start to see a little bit better, especially in your with your night vision. You can now see the landscape around you almost in shades of silver because of the combination of night vision and moonlight. And you hear this voice that seems to come from all around you. It would be wise if you left now. If you continue, we're going to make your lives hell.
Oh shit. I would lean to Vaughn and be like, too fucking late, am I right?
Right? They kind of like fist bump, like correct.
I
I
fist
don't
bumped
know.
him too.
Mizya seems to be
I-
pretty happy.
I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I hate wisdom saving throws. I hate them more than anything.
I'm using a tome.
I'm not. And I
Well,
want
that's-
record to be made of it.
That's just silly.
Well, it was sure as shit silly. Oh no. Got a 4. Power 4.
Power 4. There we go. So yes,
With my -1 wisdom. Oh no,
I
I
will
will
say,
0 now.
because I don't have everybody's
Congratulations.
character sheets in front of me. If you have advantage against being charmed, you can use that now. Or if you're immune to being charmed, I need to know.
I think I have that.
Means I need to check Mizya. I believe Mizya automatically
I-
has advantage on charming.
All the elvish people generally do, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
about drow.
Yeah, there's a couple others that have different effects that give you that.
Sure.
If your character's in a relationship, does that make you immune to charm?
Great question, Ricky. Great question.
I like the way you think, but no.
Damn it.
All right, so I'm going to roll with advantage for Mizya.
I think I've said that before, that it feels like we're on Family Feud. It's like, good question. Good
Good
question.
question.
So
Good question.
Mizya got a nat 1, but then got a 16.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
All Vaughn's got a 13 in here.
Okay, so Doc, what'd you get?
16.
Ay,
Marta?
Dirty 20.
good Jesus. Okay. Oh no.
And Teera, you got a 4?
4. Single digit.
Glad you didn't use a tome though. Good saving
Actually,
it.
Mizya wouldn't get advantage, but I'm going to let the 16 ride, which will actually be 16. Oh, that would actually be a 12. Wait, hold on. Okay, and then a +1. Okay, because Mizya is using the weasel stats right now. So Mizya got a 13. So Teera, you're the only one that failed this save.
Oh, good.
Upon hearing this voice saying that you should just leave, this voice makes sense to you, Teera.
Okay.
You feel compelled to leave.
Well, I could not agree more. Shink. And Teera just starts to be like, guys, I think that's it. I think that we should stop fucking around here. I think we should head back to Candlekeep, where it's nice and safe. I take back my vote that we should not try to drag Togo out of that cavern. I'm sure we can get him. How heavy can he possibly be? In any case, I think we should get the shit away from this tower immediately, just as fast as we can.
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, I have 2 questions. 3 questions. Can Marta
There's no limit on the number of questions you can ask him.
All right. Well, if there was, I'm using them all. So,
Roll 1d4.
can Marta hear Teera?
Yes.
That's my first question. My second
Teera is not talking quietly.
Teera's bad at being quiet.
Can Marta recognize what kind of magic this is? This is.
Give me an Arcana check.
This is a dramatic change of character for Teera. Even Marta might notice.
19.
Especially because you succeeded against this magical spell. You recognize that this is a powerful spell, charm spell, that is causing whoever is susceptible to its effects to do what was suggested.
Excellent. So as soon as she kind of hears that, she feels that like aura of charm beginning to move around the area. Well, you are not playing very fair. If you are going to take us on, you should do it with all of our mental faculties. She says, as she's going to get within 30 feet, she's going to go down till she can be within 30 feet of Teera, and she calls your name. And if you look up, you see that she has reached out her staff or her walking stick towards you, Teera, and immediately you see on top of the staff this figure of you with that like golden coloring that she's had so far, and you see yourself, Teera, on top of this staff, taking your axe and just swinging against foe after foe, like just of such bravery. Marta's going to use her channel divinity, where a sphere of twilight emanates from me, and I can end one effect causing a creature to be charmed or frightened.
Wow.
As this happens, Teera, not only do you snap out of it, but you realize that you were just manipulated into doing something against your will.
All right. Now I'm pissed. And I would just take my sword back out and I'd be like, Thank you. And would just be like, I take back anything I said. It was weird. It was a weird time. 5 seconds ago.
So, living hell you have chosen. And you all watch as around you at the base of the tower, you see, for those of you that are right up against the base of the tower, you see sort of towards to the left and right of you, just where it starts to go around it. It looks like the stones at the base of the tower begin to glow red hot, like embers and coals within a fire. And then you see the grass in those areas begin to catch fire.
Wow.
And the flames begin to reach out on either side, and they begin to encircle you.
Is it hot? Is it like real?
It's not directly next to you. It's about 15 feet on either side of you.
Okay.
At this distance, you don't feel any heat, but you see the light from the flames. It's actually quite bright with you all having dark vision up.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, you see it sparking and beginning to catch fire to the woods around you. As it encircles you, you hear that the grass, that sort of quick, rapid crackling of the flame spreading and the sort of the flames.
Wow. Okay. Is there any way to like climb this tower from the outside, or are we going in? Team. I guess the first question was for Jake. The second question was for the team.
The tower is a, I mean, it's still a stone tower. It would be difficult, and you would have to make athletics check, but you could climb finding finger and toe holds if that's the way you wanted to go. There is also a door that would be, if your back's to the tower off to your left, the door appears to be on the inside of this flame circle, but very close to the flames.
How tall is the tower again?
50 feet.
Great. Okay. Doc says in a slightly hushed voice, he's like, I can try and levitate up and then put a piton in the rope, just like I did before.
I think that's a good idea. Go on. That worked for you?
There's no door that we can just bash down and go in.
There's a door.
There is, but there could be anything in there, Vaughn. It could be a platoon of guards.
I mean, guards would be the least of our worries, but yeah, we can levitate up, I guess, and try again.
We aren't
Also-
doing the levitating. Doc is, and then we climb. I think it's a good idea.
Okay. So Doc will levitate upward. He's going to make sure that he's out of sight of any windows, because you said the windows were on the side. So he's just going to levitate straight up.
Okay. Doc and Marta, because you're still levitating up there as well. You did come down a little bit. Both of you make me investigation checks.
14.
Sorry, perception?
Investigation.
Say 19.
Neither of you feel the heat waves that should be rising off of flames that are this aggressive. So Doc, you're levitating up with the intention of
Putting a piton
hammering
in.
pitons into the wall for climbing gear.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go straight up to the top and then drop the rope down.
Okay. In relation to the window at the top, the stained glass window, where are you going?
I'm going away from the window so that they can't see that I'm going up.
So you're going to the roof.
Yeah.
He's putting it in the roof and then dropping the rope over.
Okay, the roof is wooden shingles.
Okay.
Okay. It's a sort of a conical roof.
He has a stud finder with him. He's an artificer.
Yeah, say wooden shingles aren't going to hold our combined weight.
Don't you worry. Doc is prepared for just this situation. And he
Okay.
is going to do the dad move where he puts it on his chest and be like, found one.
Of course. All right. So that will allow you to begin climbing if you wish.
So I'm gonna do the same technique that I did before. Tie the rope off to one piton and then wrap it around a second piton to reduce the friction on the knot.
Excellent. So I would say that would allow climbing. You would move at climbing speed, which is half of your normal speed, but it will not require athletics checks. And yeah. Doc.
Mhm.
I need you to make me a stealth roll at disadvantage as you are doing this setting of the pitons.
Sure.
It's at disadvantage because inserting a piton is not quiet.
Sure. I will roll with a tome.
Smart.
Okay.
Smart.
So Doc, his eyes go white, and he looks around, and he sees nothing but shadow, and then all of a sudden he sort of his eyes snap back to his left shoulder as he feels somebody tap on it and say, "Behind you." And I got a 14.
Okay. The next thing I need you to do, Doc, is I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I will use a tome. Yeah, we'll use a tome. 17.
Okay. You feel, as you are up near the top here and adding these pitons and doing all of this, you feel when you hear that behind you. You feel like somebody is watching you.
Okay.
And you hear muttering coming. At first it sounds like it's coming from just behind you, this whispered sort of the muttering of arcane words. And then you realize it's coming through the shingles. It's coming from the room below, as these hags have attempted to cast a spell on you and you have resisted it.
Ha!
Okay.
Losers.
I will given that I will levitate down slightly so that I'm levitating beside the wall as opposed to above the shingles, hoping that I'll be able to resist their line of effect a little bit more effectively. And I'll wait for my friends to start climbing up.
Teera would immediately. Pretty much as soon as the rope is dropped, Teera would nod at Vorn and then just go.
Yeah.
Okay. So Teera, you're going up first.
Mm-hmm.
You have a speed of 30. Your speed is reduced. It'll take you,
Just north of 3
each
turns.
of you, about 3 turns to get to the top.
If I look at Mizya as in the weasel form, and I ask, are you still in there, Mizya, as Teera's scooting up? What does the weasel do?
The weasel
Eats another grub.
seems content to be by you. It's not making any attempts to run away, but you're not seeing any signs of anything more than an animal intelligence.
Oh, jeez, that's just like dealing with Mizya in real life. Okay.
Suck it,
so-
Dwight.
Warren's going to look at Mizya and says, "Okay, I'm assuming you're in there. I'm assuming you can climb this rope a lot faster than I can." Does it fair do a Disney?
I wish Doc was in. I wish Doc was down there. Because if Doc was down there, something would happen. But Doc is not down there, so something
Damn.
doesn't.
So Teera started climbing the rope, and
I'm actually doing the thing I'm supposed to do. You
Vorn
fuckers
is
are-
trying to convince a weasel to climb the rope.
Well, no. I'm just asking, like, because my thinking
Come into my
is,
pocket.
You know, either you sit on my back and I climb the rope, or you climb up there a lot faster and then survey the room and then the other areas because you're.
Give me either a give me an insight check or an animal handling check.
Insight. Here we go. 21 on insight. How did I do?
Nice. Nice.
So you know that in this current form, you might as well be telling a cat what to do.
Ooh.
Mizya is a weasel. Mizya is not Mizya.
Okay.
Mizya
Alright.
does not seem to have any of their faculties or
Okay.
abilities.
All right. So Vorn's going to immediately shove his hand into the the quickest dirt he can find, snatch up a grub, hand it to the weasel so the weasel stays with him, and then climb the rope.
Very
Right. So, I need Teera and Marda to roll D100s, please.
Oh, don't like that one bit.
I've rolled a D100.
Oh, 96.
Ooh,
Ooh.
38.
I'm thinking Call of Cthulhu. You guys are good.
Yeah.
Good for you, Cari.
Marda,
Thanks.
you are the closest to what I rolled, which was 77. As Teera begins climbing and you see a bit of Vorn messing with the weasel before picking it up and starting to climb the rope, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Me or him?
It-
Marda.
Okay, sorry.
Is it against being frightened?
Yes.
Haha, I get advantage.
M knows all the rules. Nice.
Oh, good. 'Cause I rolled a 1, so that's a 24.
You feel the sensation of the kind of anxiety that a nightmare induces just creeping at the edge of your consciousness. And you can tell that this is magically imbued fear. But your mind is a Twilight Fortress. And this spell does not penetrate.
Nice.
This is getting very annoying, your little mind games here.
Teera,
Okay.
you are able to make it up to the roof. Vorn, you are about halfway up. Vorn, I need you to roll me a D100. For this one, I'm looking to see if you get within 20 on either side of what I rolled.
Doubtful. I got a 3. If this was Call of Cthulhu, it'd be an amazing roll.
You got a
This is
3?
Great roll.
You got a 3? I rolled a 19.
Oh, no way. Stop.
I'm not-
That's incredible.
I rolled a 19.
Born's dead
Incredible.
instantly.
Vorn, I need a wisdom saving throw.
Come on,
Yes.
man. Be somebody,
You're
Born.
gonna use a tome, right?
You could use a tome, yes.
It is entirely up to you, Ricky.
I mean, the Gary's foreshadowing is a lot. So
Yeah, you're not wrong. Gary has powers tonight.
So are you rolling with a
Almost just-
tome?
Yeah, so two D20s, right?
Yep.
Right, because I'm rolling manually because I can't get my computer to work. One is a 4, one is a 12.
What's your wisdom score?
My wisdom score is 12 plus 1, so 13. Is that right?
So you got a 13
13.
on your saving throw,
Got it.
which is exactly what you needed.
Stop.
Oh, good job.
A lot of close
Cari.
calls here. All of you are pretty much feeling that from within this stone fortress, these hags are trying to attack your minds. And they are not succeeding. You catch glimpses, Vorn, like those flashes of seeing Sauron's eye. You're seeing glimpses of your sister standing in the flames of the bear village, with the blood axe in her hands. You just see it for a moment. Her eyes dancing with the light of the fires around her and the blood axe dripping. And then it's gone. You push it away as you continue to climb up. And you all have made it up to the roof, except Marta, who's floating. Doc, Doc and Marta, you're gonna go at advantage. The other two straight up. Give me perception checks.
One's gonna be shot out. There's a whole lot of bullshit going on with this tower.
19.
20.
15.
We're on our own perception, right?
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of bullshit. Get him, Ricky.
The four one's a 23. Yeah.
There you go. There you
Okay,
go.
you
Look at
all-
us. Look at us.
You all hear scrambling from inside. You hear the sounds, this sort of chairs being moved, wooden chair pushing on, the floor. Somebody's pushing away from something. You hear something fall over, like wood on wood, some kind of clattering sound. And you hear quick shuffling, and you hear the sounds of doors being opened and closed. As you all scramble up to the roof, what's your next move?
Is there a spot somehow that we can get in through the roof? Like, can we just jump and cannonball through it like a badass, or is it just a frickin' roof?
This is a conical peaked roof of wooden shingles that, if it wasn't for the ropes and the pythons, you might be a little leery, or if it was daylight and you could see just how far up you are, you might be a little leery. It's not OSHA approved what you're doing.
Gotcha.
But I will say that it is wooden shingles, and the fact that you can hear what's going on, you could feel like you could probably bust your way through this roof.
I want to try to bust. I wanna
Okay, before you do that, Doc is going
Okay.
to hand you a potion.
Thank you. And I drink it immediately without asking what it is. What is it?
Now go.
I start to bust into the roof. I start to just bash it with my sword and stomp it with my feet and just try to get through.
Okay. Make an attack on the roof.
Sure as shit will. Here we go.
Roof dodges.
That's a 19 to hit the roof.
Hit the roof.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
Or is it too agile? All right, here we go. Oh God, that's terrible. 9 points of normal damage and 5 points of cold damage on the roof.
You should just go berserk.
So I'm not going to make you roll each one. It's just a matter of seeing if you're able to, if you're actually, I wanted to make sure you didn't critically fail in your attack.
No. When has that ever happened to me?
So yeah, you just start bashing in on this roof, and it just takes you a few swings to shatter, to slice in, causing the shingles to collapse down. From there, it's just a matter of almost bashing it with the pommel and jamming your blade in there, and you open up a hole very quickly, big enough for each of you to get into the room below.
Teera would say, knock, knock, and jump in.
Yeah. And Vorn follows, but he falls like Raphael did in Ninja Turtles 1 and just falls on his back. God.
Vorn's like, yeah.
Vorn, just for shiggles, roll a D100.
Shiggles.
Shiggles.
I love Shiggles. That's spectacular.
That's funny. I like that too.
All right. That'd be an 80.
What? I rolled an 87.
Let's go.
So
Wow.
you actually do Boondock Saints. You get
Nice.
tangled up in the rope,
Mhm.
and you fall in, but you're hanging just above the ceiling. Not hopelessly entangled, but you are tangled up in the rope
Mhm.
a little bit. With a weasel that is just poking out of the inside of your shirt.
Before
and
and
Teer-
don't worry, Mizya won't replace you.
Teera, you just sort of dropped in. Marta and Doc, what are you doing?
Levitate down.
I
And
love
Marta's
that
gonna
these
go-
don't-
Gently. Classy.
What are you doing, Marta?
Marta's gonna go down, go up to the roof where they are as well.
So they've dropped down into the room. The two warriors crash and bang their way down through the roof while the other two of you just float on down into the room. And you find yourself in a room. You find yourself in a very large room that is filled with just this scent of putrescence.
Ew.
You see what might have once been an elegant bedroom, but this has long since been soiled and ruined. Murals of Sune that line the walls have been defaced with dirt and filth. You can fill in the blank as to what kind of filth. 3 beds are covered in moldy blankets and animal furs, including one that is topped by a canopy of giant bones and reeking, untanned hides. Empty crates are scattered throughout this room like furniture, and they hold broken weapons, moldering clothing, and other odd objects. Around this room, you see at each of the beds, you see in these spaces that this was the bedroom of the hags. Perhaps was once the bedroom of Silvari Silversong. And they've more or less nested in this place. You see remnants of what looks like may have been items pilfered from guests over the last decade, as well as each of them seems to have they have an arrangement of knickknacks and things around each of their beds. Some things that look like they might have some kind of value, some that look like mundane objects. And there is a door leading out of this room.
Teera. Yeah.
No.
I was just gonna say Teera looks around and is like, where are they at?
Doc will investigate the door.
Okay.
One was just thinking that it smells like boogers in here. And
20.
Sure does.
How are you investigating the door?
Looking at it.
Okay.
It would defeat the purpose of investigating if you're touching it. Trigger all the traps on it.
Some people look with their hands.
Ridiculous.
You see
Incorrect.
You see a door.
So there's no apparent traps on it?
You do not see any signs of traps on this door.
Okay.
Just to clarify, this door, because you're in a tower, there's a stone pillar in the center of this room, and the door is on that sort of circular stone pillar. It looks like the only point is what must be a spiral staircase leading down the center of the tower. That's what this door leads to.
Okay, so Doc is going to. Does it open in or out?
It opens into the room.
Great. So Doc is going to say to everybody else to stand away from the door frame, and then he's going to open it from behind the door so that if there's any like fireball or something, it'll just.
Okay. You open the door.
Great.
You see stairs leading down.
Okay. And we saw just broken crates, right? We didn't see any evidence of the paintings.
You do not see any evidence of paintings. You can investigate the room further to see what else you might find.
Sure.
Can I do the
that
same?
quickly?
Okay, anybody who wants to can investigate.
26.
Tira's just waiting by the door.
Well, let's see.
What a 16.
So, Doc, you, with your investigation, you find one, you think you may have found the source of the clattering sound. As you see a wooden easel stained with paint and varnish that has fallen to the floor, collapsed, perhaps in their haste. And you can see with that 26 that there is wet paint along parts of the easel and drips of paint around the floor where the easel has collapsed. I would also like you to roll a d10.
Ooh. Why does anyone ever roll a d10?
10.
It's weird.
You also see lying nearby, partially covered by a discarded glove of some long forgotten traveler. You see a little bit of light reflected in it looks like it was about a 3-inch diameter orb of marble, but it's got a crack in it.
Okay. I will. You said there's a glove there as well?
Yes.
Great. I will snag the orb inside the glove and tuck it into my satchel for later investigation.
All right. I'm just going to give you, when you find something like this, this is a cipher, which is a single-use magical item.
Okay.
So I'm just going to give you what it does, because otherwise I'm not going to remember what I gave you.
Sure.
Vorn, what did you get on investigation?
Oh, 2.
Yeah, you're just what you see is Mizya the Weasel just starting to like run around grabbing odd bits of like a headband here, a hat there, a sock, and starts to almost create a little nest from little things that they're finding, but you don't find anything of use.
For like a 3 Mississippi, one's like, okay, what does this all mean? The sock, the nest. Oh yeah, they are a weasel.
Yep. Marta, what'd you get?
Marta got a 16.
Marta, you see that as Doc notices the drips of paint in the collapsed easel, you see partially tucked underneath some of this discarded clothing, you see a couple of paintbrushes, and you see that one of them has paint on it still, and you see drips of paint that lead towards the door. Roll me a d10.
7.
One of the pieces of clothing that is one of these brushes is sort of partially covered by is it looks like it may have once been an ornate silver gauntlet, but it looks like it was the latching mechanism on it is broken, but you see the effects of magic upon it. This is a cipher. What you're starting to gather is that some of these items are just things that the hags collected as trinkets and treasures, and some of them they may have imbued on their own with experimental magic, and some may have already had magical abilities. Teera, what'd you get?
I never. I'm not investigating. I'm just waiting by the door. Tira's ready.
That's
if
right.
it weren't for these nerds, Teera would be flying down the stairs already. But someone had to be academic about this.
All right, Teera, let's go.
Yeah, I would be like, are we ready?
Yep, let's go.
So
Teera
Teera, you're gonna head
specifically look
down the
at Warren.
stairs.
And yeah, I do.
Okay. I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw as Teera steps to the top of the stairs, takes the first step, and a magical ward that was just below that first step fires off.
Do I need to make it or no?
You get advantage because of your primeval awareness.
Correct.
But all of you do need to make this, especially you. You triggered it.
Yeah.
What are
I
we
was
rolling
wondering if
again?
it just-
I'm sorry, Jim.
I got a 7. We're rolling a dex, Ricky. I got a 17.
Okay. Need to. Where's my dice?
Oh, come on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What does it cost to reroll?
That's 3 to reroll.
3. It's just
How many tomes
damage,
do we
Ricky.
have?
It's
We
just-
only have 13.
Okay, we're good then. I'm gonna take my. What, I got a 4? Yeah, 4 there.
Hey, 4 buddies.
There we go.
Okay. So, as Teera steps on this, wow, this 1d8 is literally still spinning. And still spinning. And it
That's
lands on a
physically
1.
impossible.
All right, there. So, as Teera steps on this, there's a flash of green magical energy, and then acid just sprays everywhere. Who got a 13 or higher? Teera and Marta. Teera and Marta, you are each going to take 9 points of acid damage. As Vorn and I almost said Vorn and Ricky. Vorn and Gary. No, Vorn and Doc.
Who's Gary?
You take 18 points of acid damage. Vorn, roll me a d20 and add a 3 to it.
17, 18 points of damage on my character sheet. And would I need to roll a d20?
Yep, roll a d20 and add 3.
Bah! That's going to be a 7.
You hear this yell as a full blast of acid comes up over the step through Tira's legs and hits Mizya the weasel in the face.
No.
You smell the acrid scent of singed fur, and then the gasping and yelling sound of Mizya as the form of the weasel is dissipated, but the acid continues to burn past Mizya Weasel's 1 point, and Mizya is going to take 17 points of acid damage.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Mizya converts back to Mizya?
Yes,
While
polymorph ends if the form is killed.
Yeah, so Vorn sees the acid hit the weasel, smells the burning fur, and then smells Mizya's flesh as it's burning through acid and just goes "Plugh!" and just kind of shoots a little bit.
It's too much. It's too many senses.
It's too much. Sorry.
And Mizya
Can't help it.
is laying on the floor, and you see these bright pink areas below their normal purple-hued skin, where you can actually see in a couple places where you swear you see like their cheekbones.
Mm.
Mizya is in very bad shape from this acid burn.
So, good news, bad news. You're not a weasel anymore. But
All
you're
right,
in bad shape.
Doc will cast Cure Wounds on Mizya and himself.
Smart cookie.
Smartest person you know for sure. So Mizya got 16 and
Okay.
Doc got 12.
Nice.
Nope. I went the wrong way. Hold on. All of a sudden,
Maybe-
it's showing Mizya in death saves. Hold on.
Oh god.
Maybe I should lead the way, Teera.
And Tira's hurt too, though she has more hit points to give, and she's just like, yeah, Doc, sure, if you want to.
There's
I mean,
places.
I guess.
I don't want to, but I think it's probably a good idea. It's less likely that I'll blunder into traps like that.
Sure, Doc. Whatever you think is best.
You know, keen eyes, experience.
Smartest
stuff.
person we all know. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Okay, so as Doc will lead the way, he will descend the stairs and he will be investigating for traps as they descend.
So as you begin to descend, you sort of avoid where there's just this acid sprayed all along the walls. You can see in a couple places where it's just dripping down, and you just hear the.
And is there a railing? Or like, is it just stairs, or what is it?
It's you're inside the cylinder of the central support, so there's just walls.
Okay.
All right, so you are descending.
Into Avernus. Be sure to catch the Tuesday night game. Whatever. Remind me what it's called. What's it called?
Descent into Avernus.
There you go.
I thought it was Road Warriors from Hell.
Road
That's
Warriors
the
of Hell.
subtitle.
So,
One
What?
second. As you descend into as you descend down into the next room. Yeah, okay. I know where we are. You find Doc. Actually, I need you to do an investigation check because you were checking for traps on the way down.
Okay.
is Marta following?
21.
You are
Stock by
pleased to
itself.
see that it is clear the rest of the way down these stairs. As you come into this area,
Mhm.
make sure I'm looking at this right. Okay, you come down into what appears to be a well-used kitchen. There's 3 tables in this room, one of which is covered in various vegetables, and strange-looking cuts of meat. There's a
Oh,
wooden
uh-oh.
stove that burns brightly against the far wall, and
It's not safe to leave your stove burning unattended.
there is a heavy iron pot sitting on top of the stove, and you hear this sort of metallic clattering sound as whatever liquid is inside is boiling over and causing the lid to just sort of vibrate against it. And it's a foul scent coming from within. You're in, essentially, you've come down into one half of the second level, and you see where you came down the stairs, there's also a wall, and there's a door set into that wall. The stairs also continue further down as well.
I want to
Okay.
go open that lid.
Doc will continue investigating down the stairs.
I want to
And
go open that lid.
As Teera begins to walk towards the lid, Vaughn looks at her and is like, "You're gonna open that lid, aren't you?"
Damn right I'm gonna open that lid. I'm curious.
It smells like farts, Teera. Why?
Because I'm curious.
It's
I don't
gonna
need a
be
better reason than that. And Teera like pulls some cloth or something over her hand to grab the handle.
Listen, if you smell like farts,
I'm not gonna smell like farts. I'm gonna look for 1 second. Anyway, you stink all the time, and I never say anything because I love you. I mean, yeah.
oh, you stink too, which means I love you too. So whatever. Open the pot.
I do. I want to see if there's a bunny boiling in there.
As you open up the pot, you see inside this thick boiling, and it's thick, has that thickness of something that a lot of the extra moisture is boiled away.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you see
A
floating
reduction.
in this brown, yeah, okay. You see floating in this brown ooze a head of cabbage.
Fuck off, Jake. That was a really good. You got me. You got me good. Gross.
Well, I'll be honest, I
Teera,
didn't know
what's
what
in the
was in the
pot?
pot until Ricky said it smelled like farts. I'm like, well, that's cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a head, all right. And Teera would just put the lid back on and be like, "It's a head of cabbage."
Doc,
You happy now?
Yep.
you continue investigating down the stairs.
I
Mhm.
hustle up after Doc.
Give me an investigation check. Well, hold off on that because this is while
Okay.
you're crossing the room
Then-
to look in the
Okay.
pot. Where
22.
So Doc went down the stairs.
Well, Doc
Tear-
opened the door and started descending. Yes.
There was no door to open. You were
Oh, then yes.
Just a doorway.
Sure.
So you came into this kitchen area, but the stairs continued down.
Okay.
Oh.
So you continue investigating down. Teera crosses the room to look at the cabbage stew reduction, whatever. Vorn, Mizya, and Marta, where are you while these two are splitting in these different directions?
Marta is going to be following Doc.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's reasonable to follow Doc. That's a smart thing to do, but I'm gonna be following Teera. That's the hard thing to do.
All right. So I'm going to roll.
Teera, what was the head? What was the head of?
Here's a head of
Minotaur,
lettuce.
Orc. You know, what
this
was
is
the head?
this is fantastic. So, Mizya got an 8 on their perception check. Doc, you got a 22 on your investigation to see that the stairs are not trapped in any way. And I have so many tabs open. Oh. You, Doc, and then Marta right behind you. You come down the stairs and see the entrance. You see now that at the bottom of the stairs, you can see into this area of the temple, or sorry, the tower, that you're looking at the door across from the stairs that looks like it's the entryway to this door, or this tower. You're in the foyer to the overall tower, and you see that there is a door. So this is almost like a wedge of like 1/3 of the tower that you're in, or almost like a quarter actually, I guess. And you see, as you're looking across, you see the wall to your left and the wall to your right each have doors set into them, and then across from you on the curved wall is the front entrance. The door to your left and the exterior door are both slightly ajar. And from those doors, You see as they open up, and you see humanoid figures begin to shuffle into the room.
Oh, uh-oh.
They are roughly 5 to 6 feet in height, and they seem to be made mostly of burlap and straw and magic as scarecrows begin to shamble towards you.
Oh my god.
Back upstairs
Happy
in the
Halloween,
kitchen, Teera, as you turn to talk to Vorn and tell him what you saw in the pot, you look back over by the stairs, and on the second floor, that door behind Mizya has opened, and you see a couple of scarecrows creeping up behind Mizya, who has not noticed them.
Okay.
And when we get back from our break, we're going to roll initiative. So we are going to take
Wow.
we're going to take about a 10-minute break. That's a 10-minute break, Ricky. I'm just kidding.
No, that's fair. Fair. I'm always late. 100% fair.
All right, we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we will see you on the other side. Please stick around. We'll be back with more of this Candlekeep Mysteries game in just a few minutes. All right, we're back. And I've got everybody's initiative rolls, and as Marta and Doc, you are down at the bottom of the stairs. You see the doors open and some scarecrows begin to filter in. Doc, you are first in initiative order. What would you like to do?
Mother trucker. How high is the ceiling?
The ceilings in this tower are 15 feet,
Great. And how tall are the scarecrows?
roughly 6 feet.
Great. So Doc will levitate up to the ceiling and in theory be out of their range. And then
How long does
Every
your
time-
levitate last?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Ooh, wow.
Well, every time we get into combat, I remember how much this character fucking sucks.
I don't know. It sure helped Vorn last time not dying.
Yeah.
So.
You've done some smart things.
Okay, and then sure. Doc is going to chuck are there any scarecrows that are close together?
Yeah, they're coming through the door, 2 at a
Great.
time.
Doc will chuck a cipher at them.
All right, the one you just got.
Sure.
I remember what that one does already. Okay.
19. Oh, wait, no, it's a saving throw, so 19 to hit, if that matters.
It didn't give a deck save.
No,
So I would say probably a DC 15.
makes sense to me.
I need you, as you chuck this cipher, and I pull up my scarecrows here. They are, deck save is, so the first one gets a 14, the second one gets an 18. So one of them saves and one of them fails.
Uh-huh. So they will take 3 or 1.
Okay. So what I need you to do
Uh-huh.
is I need you to roll a d20
Okay.
for each of the scarecrows. Tell me what you get on each of them.
Okay. So I rolled 1 already.
Okay.
So 19 and 18.
That's not good. Need you to roll a
For you
d4.
Oh
Okay.
god, I hate it.
1.
Okay. And I need you to roll a second d4, re-rolling any ones.
3.
Okay. So you hurl this this broken marble orb at the ground that you just found upstairs, and as soon as you do, it explodes into a burst of acid that flies up and hits these two scarecrows. As it does so, you hear them immediately, and they kind of lurch as this acid hits them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Let me see. Any evens up, odds down. Okay. From the second floor, or on the second floor, from behind the scarecrows, a figure appears. So Vorn and Teera, well, Teera, you're the one that saw this initially. You see
Right.
the scarecrows creeping up behind Mizya, and just as you clock that, you see from behind them in the doorway a slightly taller figure with flame red skin, slicked back red hair, couple of devil horns protruding upward.
Oh my god.
As this figure is kind of looking at you like this and looks right at you, Teera, and points at you. Flame erupts from its hand, and that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit me.
You are going to take 8 points of fire damage. And then it points its finger as it's pointing at you, then it just suddenly rotates its hand and points at Vorn. And Vorn, that's only going to be a 10, as from behind you, because you hadn't seen this yet until this flame shoots out, and then another fire ray shoots out across and just misses you and suddenly hits that cabbage stew pot on the stove.
Oh, now the whole room smells like
Yes,
it.
now the whole room smells like burning fart.
Like, and boiled eggs and
Yeah.
sulfur and mustard.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Burn hair.
And as it misses you, you hear this figure just go, "Ah, damn."
Okay.
Okay. The two scarecrows that came into the room, the first one is going to attack Mizya, as it comes behind and just starts clawing at her. That's going to be, or at them, that's going to be a 12 to hit. Mizya has a 16 AC. And then swipe in for that second hit. I said swipe in for that second hit. That's a 5. So this Mizya, almost sensing it, they just sort of duck as this scarecrow claws in above where they were, as they just duck down. The other scarecrow is going to shamble into the room, and is going to look at you, Vorn. And you see its eyes glowing as if embers of fire are glowing within. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Vorn.
And Vorn's going to do so with advance.
Using a tome.
Ooh, 3 and a 12.
12 will succeed as you are able to resist its terrifying glare. And Vorn, you are up. There is a devilish figure and 2 scarecrows that are currently visible to you.
Alright, Vorn is going to tell Ditto to make itself useful and distract the devilish creature. And then see. How far is the devilish creature from me?
Probably about 15 feet. It's just inside the doorway to that other room.
I don't even know why Vorn even asked or even matters, because it doesn't.
You beat me in initiative. Congratulations, Ricky.
Going to lightsaber throw my hand queen of katana as the blade manifests its shadow presence as my hand. I unsheath it and then I throw it like a frisbee across.
Oh my god, sick. Side note, I've never wanted to purchase a katana more than I do every time I see it on stream.
So
go to in the mall, pay $100, get one.
There you go.
hold on, this is taking me a moment because I totally forgot about Ditto. I totally did not forget about Ditto.
I never forgot.
You can't possibly. He stands out. That's what he does.
So basically, you can have advantage on your attack as Ditto is giving you the help action. So make a ranged attack with your sword.
So I'm gonna throw a
At
natural
advantage.
die because my advantage isn't working on. 19 and a 6, and then plus 9. So 19 plus 9 is what, 28?
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
And then the damage. Is it so? I have two options: 1d8 plus 6 or 1d10 plus 6. Which one do I throw?
It's 1d8 because the 1d10 is only if you're using it two-handed.
Gotcha. All right, that's 12.
You also get to roll an extra d6 because it has the keen edge.
You know it. Let's go with a 2.
A total of 14 slashing damage against this humanoid devilish creature.
And everyone's going to remark, like, at this point, after all we've been through, you think you can scare us? Friends turn to stone, dragons, and this is all said as the blade is flying through his hand and coming back to him.
Badass, dude.
So
Oh my God.
that was your first attack, Born.
Wow! Fuck! Get him,
go.
Board. Get him.
Go. All right. How can I jump and strike with a jumping attack on this creature with 2 hands with the same blade?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And that's gonna be a dirty 20 to hit with the jumping attack.
Okay. So that's the 1d10 and then the 1d6 for the keen edge.
And Warren's coming down with the blade, you know, striking down upon the creature. Jeez. That's going to be 8 points of damage.
8 point. Did you roll a d6 too?
Oh. And that's going to be additional 4, so that's going to be 12.
12 more points of damage as you cut into him again with the shadow blade.
Teera is very turned on right now.
Let's go.
They'll never let you leave here alive.
Is that what Vorn hears?
Yeah, he says that right to your face. And then you see from inside the room, because you just went into that room to engage with this creature, which I'll just tell you is a Cambion. There are more scarecrows in this room.
And Vorn whispers back, my death is on the battlefield amongst hundreds of soldiers, not with a straw scarecrow in a tower. That's the end of his turn. As prophesied by Doc.
As the scarecrows appear, in the room that you're in, this darkened room, Mizya is up. And Mizya is going to, at the scarecrow that just attacked them, Mizya is going to, that's not good. Mizya is going to fire a firebolt at the scarecrow. However, Mizya rolled a natural 1. So that, as Mizya goes to cast this cantrip at this scarecrow, Vorn, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, because you were directly behind this scarecrow.
Oh boy, I'm gonna roll that with advantage. Dexterity saving. Let's see. Okay. Sorry. 19 plus 1 is a 20. And I got a 5, so it's 4 and 20. Whichever one you want to use.
Nice.
So you get a 20 on your dex saving throw. So you sense this incoming blast, and you're able to duck out of the way as this blast of fire shoots into the room and illuminates it for a moment. As Mizya sort of goes, yes, no. That is going to be Mizya's turn.
Hold on, so the fireball that Mizya cast missed Vorn?
Yeah, it was just a firebolt, not a full fireball.
Did it hit anything else?
No.
Okay, so Vorn looks over his shoulder and says, not oh yes, but okay.
Awesome.
So that's Mizya. Downstairs, Doc is levitating on the ceiling. Doc, needs you to make a wisdom saving throw as, actually, check that. No, correction. Make that wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'll use a tome. 15.
You see one of the, from the other door, the front door of this place, you see a couple more scarecrows coming in, and one looks up at you, trying to pierce into you with its eyes. But whatever it's trying to do, it's not succeeding. The other one is going to come right into the stairs to where you are, Marta. And it is just going to take a couple swipes at you. That's going to be an 18 to hit. And a natural 20.
Well,
So,
Oh God, no! I like Marta.
Marta,
No!
as this scarecrow, the one just sort of looks up at Doc, and you just see it just sort of stand there and stare. And behind it, this other scarecrow just sort of pushes past and just sort of comes charging forward and rushes in, takes a swipe at you for, come on. Takes a swipe at you and hits you for 7 points of slashing damage. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage as it strikes you.
24.
So you are not frightened of it. On the crit, it's going to do 8 plus 5, 13 points of slashing. And this is a crit. Roll me a d12.
Two.
So this slashes you in one of your arms, and I need you to roll a d10.
Oh no!
Ouch. 5.
It's right at the elbow.
Sorry, because you were on the
5
stairs.
on the hand.
Because you were on the stairs, it actually cuts into cuts into your thigh, ripping into the meat of your thigh, and blood begins to flow. You are bleeding.
Cool. Femoral artery, man.
So because of the crit, I rolled on. We just rolled on the brutal wounds table. So you are now bleeding at level 1, which means at the start of each of your turns, you are going to take bleed damage. Unless you are an ally, take an action to use a medicine check and apply a bandage. Magical healing would cure that as well. So that was that one and that one. Doc and Marta, the first two scarecrows that had come in and Doc had hit with this cipher, you see them sort of stumble into the room, and they're grabbing at where the acid burned them, even though it was just a little bit of acid, relatively speaking. They're not making moves to attack, and they're not moving in the same way as the other scarecrows.
Oh no. Oh no.
Upstairs, in the room with Vorn, two scarecrows are going to attack you, Vorn. For, I don't think a 13's not going to hit you. And I can't see that one. Does an 18 hit you, Vorn?
I mean, yeah. But
So
it's a weak 18 though.
basically where you were engaging with this Cambion, scarecrows come in from either side. The one comes in, slashes at you. You take 8 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, come on. It rolled at 16, then a 7. Garbage. That's a 7 on wisdom save.
Why'd you roll at disadvantage?
Oh, I don't know. Because my system's wrong. Should I just roll natural with dice?
The 16.
It's a 16. You're fine.
Oh,
So you take the 8 points from that one. The other one comes in from the other side. And, oh, that was almost...
it shows a 7 on my side.
That's a 5.
It's okay, bud.
The other one comes in, and you are in a position where you had just struck this Cambion, and you just are almost instinctively moving your sword and your katana and blocking these scarecrows as they come in to attack. One of them gets a hit in on you. The other one cannot. And Marta, it is your turn. You're going to take 1 point of bleeding damage at the start of your turn. And you are engaged with one of the scarecrows.
Yeah. Okay. So, Marta immediately is going to... in one hand, she has her staff that she's going to pound against the ground once, and again, those butterflies come out, flitting around her in a radius of light, and you can feel the vitality coming as she casts Aura of Vitality. It's going to heal herself. Wow, for 2 points of healing.
It's better than none.
So does that mean I'm not bleeding anymore, at least?
That is correct.
Or...
you have staunched the bleeding with your magical healing.
Cool. And then with her other hand, she unsheaths a small short sword and is going to bash at this scarecrow.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, she's not. That was an action. I'm just kidding. I can read. I thought it was a bonus action, but it's after.
Okay.
So that's her turn.
Okay. Two additional scarecrows come in through the front door.
Oh my god.
And as they, let me see what they, as they come in, one of them is going to stare at you on the stairs, Marta, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with advantage. The other one is going to start climbing up the wall
I hate it. That's nightmare-y.
towards Doc. It's because it's clinging to the wall, it's going to attack with disadvantage. That's not going to hit you. That's a 4. Wait. Oh, Doc. Sorry, I misread that. Doc, on its first attack, as it lunges towards you, it almost loses its grip on the wall, and you get an opportunity attack if you wish to take it.
I have no ability to attack it.
Okay. Because it critically failed. It's going to take a whoops. It's gonna no. It's gonna take a. It's gonna take a second attack at disadvantage.
Does it fall?
No. Actually, you know what? I would say yeah. On that critical fail while clinging to the wall. Yeah, it would fall. And it'll take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as it falls. And Marta, you saved no problem against the terrifying glare. Back upstairs, Teera, it is finally your turn.
Sick. Here's what I want to do. I want to go and I want to start slashing at the devil-looking dude, please.
Okay, so you're gonna run past Mizya and the 2 scarecrows they're engaged with.
I feel like this guy is like in charge, and Teera would want to cut right to the middle of the onion. So,
all right, you run into the room, and you immediately see as you run into that room, Vorn is engaged, and there are 4 other scarecrows that are. I think I miscalculated on these. Hold on.
math is hard. While he's doing math, be sure to check
there's
this
at least
out
2
on
other scarecrows.
spring.com.
They're all labeled, but I'm starting to lose track of where they are. I know those are down there. Those are down there. Those are up.
We
Those
have
came in the
t-shirts,
door.
stickers, mugs, and more. Spring.com.
be
Just search mini terrain
by-
domain.
Okay. Anyway, there's scarecrows in that room
Okay. I
as
skip
well.
them.
There's a whole bunch. You're just going right for the Cambion. Perfect.
Yup.
You got to every single time.
Gotta.
Hold on.
Okay.
So are you coming in and are you seeing what I'm engaged in? And
I
everything
imagine, yeah.
else? Okay. So do you want to give me like a signal so we can coordinate our attacks?
So I say hold them off, and I want to go for the
I'm going to
Cambion,
give you
please.
both advantage on your attacks as long as you're both engaged because you're basically flanking them.
Oh, cool. This is the romantic bonus. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and attack that asshole. Here I
as-
go.
Everybody was Cambion fighting.
As Teera's
Yeah.
like attacking, he's like, you know, Vorn's gonna shout out because he expresses his emotions during combat and horrific moments.
Mhm.
Teera, what are the flowers that grow where you're from? As she's swinging her sword.
And as Teera is, by the way, I'm raging. As Teera is flying by and gets a 16 to hit on this dude.
You fly by, flying into a rage. You bring your sword down, and he tilts his shoulder towards it, taking the sword full on the pauldron. You do not hit.
Like, I don't have any fucking flowers where I'm from, and I want to attack again.
All right.
Mother F, that's worse. And that's all I got. So I am bombed, and I screwed it up, guys.
As you come in and you fail with these attacks, the Cambion looks at you and just sort of cocks his head, and you see a slight smile at the corner of his lips.
Okay.
Perhaps they were wrong to fear you.
Real quick, one last thing I will say. Are there any non-magical flames or lighting in this room?
No.
Oh, well, fuck.
What's the range on that?
So I will have to look it up. It's like 30 feet. It's enough
The
to fill
fire on the
this room.
stove goes out.
Great.
As you draw your sword, the stuff that was burning, the soup that was burning on the stove is stopped burning.
Stops burning. Okay, good. Perfect.
It smells
And I am
slightly
done.
less like fart in here.
That is the best turn I've ever had.
Teera and Vorn, make me an insight check real quick.
Jesus, I'm putting these dice away. 5. Ricky's rubbing off on me. Don't like it.
18 and an 8. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Run roll.
No advantage.
No advantage. Sorry. Run roll. Sorry. My bad. Ooh, that's dramatically worse. That's a 4.
Okay. Perfect.
I roll with advantage for the 18.
A 4 and a 5. Match made in heaven.
That's
Doc.
right. That's right.
It is your turn. Flying up on the ceiling,
We noticed.
scarecrows all around attacking Marta, 2 of them acting strange, one that just fell prone on the floor.
Doc is going to look around and going to shake his head, remembering that he sucks for a moment. And he's going to take the dodge action. And he's going to say, hey, Frank, hit that one. And Frank, the flower pot with the invisible flying wings, is going to shoot a blast of force at one of the undamaged scarecrows.
Okay. One of the... Okay. Frank the Flying Flower Pot with the Invisible Wings sounds like a children's book.
It does. Should be.
Okay.
It's a shame we don't know anybody who works in publishing.
Oh, fuck. Okay, he missed. Well, does 9 hit?
No, it does not.
Oh.
It's he comes flying in and just boonk,
Damn it.
and nothing happens.
It's a ranged attack. It's like a beam of force.
Okay, a beam of force goes, and you see the straw that's sticking out of this scarecrow just kind of go.
Damn.
Doc is going to look back at Frank, and he's going to say, Frank, I know you haven't appeared in 30 episodes, but that's no reason to be rusty.
I missed Frank.
Meanwhile, upstairs, engaged with both of the fighters, the barbarian and the fighter, the Cambion is going to look at you, Teera.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw you first come in here, I thought you had the makings of a great warrior. Perhaps you could fight for me. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
You gonna use a tome there, Cari, or are you just gonna...
You know what? I think I yeah. I think I will.
Huh.
I'll use one.
I don't do words inspiration or anything.
Man, come on, bitch. Okay. Will save is or wisdom save is 17.
It's the quickest way to out a Pathfinder player.
Sorry, will save. I also said handle animal earlier in case any real purists caught that.
Or a reflex save.
Right?
Either 3.5 or Pathfinder. Either way. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a 17 on that.
Correct.
As he looks at you and you see two things in this moment. You see the abject confidence in his eyes that he is going to turn you to his side. And you also recognize this close. You recognize the features of this Cambion, though when last you saw him, he had a different appearance. This is Scythe, the concierge that was at the desk when you all first came in his true form.
Wow.
And as you resist this charm, this fiendish charm, he just kind of cocks his head a little bit and he goes, "Oh well. Perhaps I can turn your boyfriend instead." That's his turn. Mizya is going to get pummeled by a couple scarecrows. Mizya, who looks around and sees that everybody has left them alone in the kitchen with two scarecrows, and says, "Don't worry, I'll take care of them myself." As they get hit, no, they do not. They duck from a 6. They duck from a 5. They are going to get hit with a 17. And so nobody sees this as Mizya says this, and Mizya is literally just going, "Phew, phew, phew," and then just gets slashed by one of them for Indy Beyond's being a dick. Okay. Mizya takes 6 points of slashing damage as they're like, "Phew, ah, ow!" 6 points of damage, and Mizya needs to make a wisdom saving throw for a 19. And you just hear from the other room, yes, I see you're trying to frighten me. It won't work. I've seen much worse than you." As Mizya has held their own. Vorn, it's your turn against the Cambion.
And the Cambion said, what about turning the boyfriend?
You just heard him try to turn Teera to fight for him, and then he says, "Perhaps I'll turn your boyfriend instead."
Wonderful.
She's not my girlfriend. God.
Oh, how dare you?
Oh, gross. Cooties.
Oh, cooties. Right. So, Vorn is going to attack this. Am I able to attack this creature?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Absolutely. All right. Jumping strike to this creature. As Vorn, here's Mizya able to dodge and be okay down there, and here's the condescending and prideful, yes, and the indifference and dismissiveness. And okay, he smirks and then he draws his blade and he's going to strike upon this creature. That is talking about turning the boyfriend. I am a man, not a boy. All right, let's go.
I'm a man friend.
I am at least an orc, like a full-grown boy version of. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna attack. Doesn't matter.
Man, if Ricky's ever a villain, you're gonna be able to take him out purely by his monologuing.
Absolutely. That's 18 to hit on the creature.
You bring your shadow blade down, and Scythe puts a hand up and grabs the blade and stops it. That is not a hit on your first attack.
18 is not a hit?
Nope.
What?
You do have another attack, though.
Oh my goodness. All right. Vorn almost assured that was a hit.
You didn't roll with advantage. You roll with advantage every other time.
Because we get our boyfriend-girlfriend bonus.
Yeah, you got your couple bonus.
What's the couple bonus?
You're attacking with advantage, so roll that again. That attack.
With 18 plus whatever.
No, you just roll another d20 and add your +9 to it. One of these days, after more than a year, Ricky will learn how to play this game.
Ricky does.
So
he just struggles with advantage.
Yeah, correct. So I got a 10 On the test, 19 plus 9 is what?
It's 10 plus
It's
19 or 9. You're not
No,
adding
it's
it to
just
the other
19.
attack. It's 19. You
Just
bring
take the better of the two. Ruckus.
so staying with the initial narration that he caught the blade.
Oh.
You see that his view change as the blade cuts in and slices off his thumb. 19 hits.
Oh my goodness! And Vorn says, you're a tough one,"
Go-
because Vorn felt the strain of his being
Yeah.
in that swing.
Go ahead and roll your damage, which is the 1d10 and the 1d6 plus whatever your bonus is.
That's gonna be 15. Do I roll the Queen's Edge too with the 6?
Yep, it's the keen edge for that. So
Such a great thing.
So it's gonna be what? 15 plus
19
4,
total?
19?
yeah, you see he's bleeding profusely from this second attack.
Mhm. And
I don't need a thumb to do this. And he just flips you off.
oh, can Vorn take another attack immediately?
Thumbless.
You only get 2 attacks, unfortunately.
Was that my first attack or my second attack? That was my first attack, right?
No. Well, yeah, I forgot because the whole advantage thing. Yes, you can take your second attack. Also,
Yeah.
you're a fighter who has a action surge, so
Fucking
you
action surge. She gets like 10.
you can take as many attacks as you want.
Oh, we'll take all
Everybody
of them
else go
then.
get popcorn. Ricky will be done
Yeah.
in about a half an hour.
Action surge. If I figure out how the. Well, okay. So I'm rolling no attack. This is just regular D20, right?
You're just rolling with advantage.
Okay.
So 2 d20s, take the highest.
Take the better of the two.
18 and an 8 plus 9 on the Queen's hand, so 27.
Yay!
Yep, that is a hit.
And then I'm going to D10 that.
Be a d10 and a d6. You always get the d6. That's a feature of this sword.
Yeah. Got it. So that's going to be 11 and then 2, so 13. I'm slicing off that middle finger and gently.
Yeah, you
grazing-
as he flips you off with his 4 fingers, just suddenly. Ah! I've still got another hand.
Oh, he's kind of a petty war of attrition then.
Wow. Yes. Take
It's-
your time.
All right, so I get
10
2 turns,
turns
right?
later, he'll be
I can
done.
move on to the next player.
you can action surge if you want and try to finish this
Do it,
guy.
do
That'd
it.
give you
Do
2 more
it.
attacks.
Okay, if it doesn't step on anyone else, I would definitely do that. Are those regular rolls or roll with advantage?
You're always rolling with advantage right now because you and Teera have him flanked.
Okay. Yep. All right. So 17 plus 9 is what?
26. That's a hit.
Okay.
1d10 and 1d6.
Oops, that's the D6. Hold on. Here comes the real one. That's not real. That's the real one. That's going to be 14 on the D4, and then the D6 is going to hit with a. So 18 points of damage on that first swing. Throw in the second one. 15 plus 9 is what? 24?
24.
Okay. Ten plus a 11 points of damage on this second swing. As my just fury of like two-handed swings,
Vorn.
vertical, horizontal.
Vorn, how do you want to do this?
Yes, Warren, kill him.
Oh gosh. So it is a anime style swing, horizontal, vertical, and then a blacking out, and then for a split moment, there is a vision of my sister holding the blood axe, looking directly at me. And as I make eye contact with her, it shifts back to real world as my sword swings and chops off his head in a like 3/4 quarter action.
Very
And it's
nice.
very anime and a little bit of Elden Ring, as it's like rivers of blood. The sword, as you carve away in this sort of X pattern with this with this katana of shadow, and you see the sprays of blood. One arc slices up, and you're basically just cutting his hands down where he was flipping you off. You're just cutting him down, start cutting into his neck and into his chest. The one spray, hot blood across the side of Teera's face. And as the blood sprays into the room, you notice for just a moment, you swear, some of that blood seems to sort of linger in the air and just sort of and vanish at the same time this vision of your sister vanishes. Around you, in this room, the scarecrows collapse as if they were marionettes whose strings have been cut.
Yes.
Downstairs, Marta, the ones that were attacking you, just collapse. The one that was starting to clamber to its feet on the ground that had fallen also collapses. The other one standing in the door staring at Doc collapses. All but the two remaining that were standing there. They still stand there and are looking up towards Doc, and then look over towards Marta as they begin to shuffle in this rigid sort of way, and both of them are going to attack you, Marta.
No.
That's a 5 from the first one. Then an 18. I need a DC 11 saving throw, wisdom. As you take 4 points of slashing damage.
18.
And you are not afraid. The second one comes in with its 2 attacks. That is a 22 to hit. And an 11. So I need one more wisdom save as you take another
27.
So yeah, these things, there's no fear in your eyes as they're attacking. You take, I just lost it. Where did it go? Game log, where are you at? 5 more slashing damage. Marta, make an insight check. With advantage.
It's a 9.
With advantage?
Yes. I rolled a 5 on both.
Oh, jeez. I'm like, that number didn't change.
No.
Okay. Gone. Marta, it's your turn.
All right, so she's going to use her bonus action to have that aura of vitality on her. Use that again. Hopefully higher this time, a little bit. 4
It was double.
healing.
Nice.
And then she's going to pull out her short sword and smack one of them.
Okay.
Smack him.
Bonk. 18.
18 hits.
That is 6 points of piercing.
As you slice into this first one, you hear this, and you see from where you cut into the burlap and where the straw is hanging out, you see blood begin to spill.
Oh, uh-oh.
That's not normal. Right? That's
No.
hasn't been.
No,
Okay.
it's not normal at all.
I do not think these ones are the same. Marta will say to Doc.
Yes, It appears that's true.
You just attack the one? You only get one attack?
Yep.
You only get one attack at level 6?
Cleric.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a cleric. Yeah.
Gary, you said cleric,
one
and then
word,
I heard clerk.
Clerk. Clerk.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a while since I played a cleric.
God bless. And had more than one turn, they'd rule the world. Be the end of day.
Teera.
Okay, I hear the commotion downstairs.
The Cambion is down. All the scarecrows are down, and you absolutely. I want you though to make me.
Sorry, go ahead. You first.
Well, you tell me first what you're gonna do.
I was just gonna say I would turn to Vor and be like, "That's the hottest thing you've ever done," and then I would make my move downstairs.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Doc.
I know.
Perception
I'm
check
quite
is a
hilarious.
perception check is a 13.
As you look down at where this Cambion has fallen and his body collapsed, and you see on the ground where several of his fingers are laying
Gross.
disembodied, you see an eyeball sort of just like where it's fallen out of his grasp or out of his pocket or something, and it's rolling. If you've ever seen those balls that are weighted on the inside so they roll kind of weird, it's doing this sort of weird roll, and then it just sort of sits up, and then you see the eyeball just sort of going looking around the room at you. What do you do?
I want to squish it. I want to step on it on the way down.
I think I just got to double check something.
Okay.
Go ahead. You head down the stairs. You were just inside the door, and the stairs are right around there, so you could get right down to where Marta is, and there's two scarecrows that are still up and are attacking her.
Oh, hell yeah. And Teera would want to swing at one.
Do it.
Okay. I'm going to attack recklessly because I don't get my lover bonus anymore because I'm not in the same room. So here I go. That's going to be a 24 to hit one of them.
Okay.
And that's going to be 9 points of normal damage. And an additional 6 points of cold damage. Sorry, and then +2 because I'm raging, so another 2.
Teera. You come down the stairs. I'm not even going to look up the thing in the eye. You just crush it.
Nice.
And you run down the stairs, and you see these two scarecrows clambering to get at Marta. Marta, who's got blood just coating one leg, and slash marks all across her. And she's sort of pinned in this stairwell where there's already two scarecrows at her feet. And you see these scarecrows lunging in. You just come in overhead, and you bring your sword down, crackling with ice energy. It cuts down into the shoulder and down through in, and you see a spray of blood that crystallizes into ice as it hits the wall. And that's when the spell drops that was concealing this scarecrow. So you've driven your sword into what appears to now be a lifeless Goliath. You appear to have just killed Vaughn Reed, aka Little One.
Let's go.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
M has a thing. Gary
Oh,
has a
That's
thing.
not the right response.
Wait, what? Who? What? Did what? Okay, hold on. I'm being told not to end. Hold on. If you have a thing,
Side chat.
I want to stay in the motion. I want to stay in motion if we got it.
Let's get it.
If it, can you resolve it? Is it a quick thing?
for this time or no?
Well, I was just like Marta has revivify, so that's what she would
Good.
want to do. But
Here we'll
Okay,
go horror-stricken.
then we'll table that
yeah,
Mhm.
as the spell did drop. Whatever spell was concealing little ones / Vaughn Reed's identity. I will say the one last piece of information that you realize is, while it's clearly Vaughn Reed and this Goliath, he is a fraction of the muscular size that he was. He looks emaciated and weakened, and he is not wearing his headband of intellect.
I'm gonna walk up to Teera and look at what just happened and everything, if I can.
Let's we're gonna, since we called the end there on that moment, because I feel like this is gonna open
Throw
up
it
for a
away.
whole lot of role play scenario stuff, and there's still technically one more scarecrow there.
Oh god, yeah. Still in the thick of it, bro.
But it is 10:30, and I want to honor everybody's time. So
Wow. Uh-oh. There's some guilt coming. There's some fucking character development.
Sorry there, Cari. I just hate it when I'm right. It just
Yeah. Effing Gary.
are you
God
predicting
dang it.
things in the side chat again?
yeah,
Yes.
I said like 2 hours ago that one of
He
those
is.
scarecrows was little one.
Yeah.
So-
we still attacked them.
I mean, anybody we love is doomed to die tragically, so...
Are
So
we the baddies?
I will say that there were that there was concealing on at least the one, obviously. And the idea was that when you attacked the scarecrows, you would roll a d20 to determine whether or not it was one of these disguised ones. And Gary, right off the bat, rolls the numbers and rolls for little one.
Oh.
So you did
That's
this,
why
Gary.
that was that one
You
attack
did
where it's
this.
like roll a d10,
I mean,
roll a
I
d5.
said.
Yeah.
You did.
I don't know why
Wow.
it just felt so much more poignant that Carrie, you were the one that struck the blow.
Yeah. Teera's feeling pretty high and mighty these days, killing all this shit.
And I'll tell you, last thing before we wrap up, if it wasn't for the extra rage damage, you wouldn't have killed him.
Ooh. Oh.
Ah.
Oh no.
Just
Let that
piling
sit in
on.
your heart for
Attitude
Just
Dude,
piling
Scholtens.
on.
There you go.
Need to go to anger management.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you so much to new followers, resubs, and
Wow.
subscribers. Thank you
Wow.
to Paradise Productions for the raid earlier. If you are somebody that lurks in the chat, just hangs out in the background, thank you so much. We appreciate you and hope you enjoyed the show as well. I am going to I think we're gonna raid. I've been doing a lot of mini painting lately. I've been doing a lot of mini painting, lady.
Hey, lady.
So I'm gonna throw a raid over to our friend Dr. Faust.
Dr. Faust,
Um,
painting clinic.
I always forget if he spells doctor out or if it's just
Choose your character.
Dr. Faust.
Dr.
How does it spell
Faust.
Faust?
It's doctor, all the whole word.
Dr. Faust. There it is. Dr. Faust Painting Clinic. So we're gonna send a raid over there. Be sure to tune in here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday for our second session of the Darkness Outside of Broken Branch, our
Yay,
Call of
howdy,
Cthulhu Mythos Investigators, where Gary and I are players, along with Dwight, Karen, and Alex, and Cari is our keeper. I have a feeling this next session is not going to be as tame as the last one. So tune
It's gonna
in.
go,
and see
pun
what goes on with
intended,
that.
off the rails.
Right. So, finally, before we get out of here, I want to say a huge thank you, as always, to all of these amazing players, Gary, Cari, M, Ricky, and though he was not with us tonight, he was with us in spirit, Dwight, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we are going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
D20's evil.